Bow, bow, bow. Bow, bow, bow. Bow, bow, bow. Good morning to all you W Wrestling fans, all you YouTube subscribers. I'm the Godfather of Soul, Justin Lewis Lemon. It's right now 2:36 in the morning right now where I'm in Indianapolis, Indiana. And I'm here this morning to give you, by the way, happy Memorial Day, by the way, because you saw me doing that little trumpet thing because it's Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day to all of you. Hope all of you had a really good weekend, and I did too. It's Sunday, May 30th. It's Monday, May 30th, 2022, and happy Memorial Day. I'm here to give all of you my wrestling history, wrestling birthdays, and sports for today, Monday, May 30th, 2012. Before I give you my wrestling history, wrestling birthdays, and sports today, I'm gonna say a little major rant what I watched last night on pay-per-view AEW Dynamite. Now, MJF last night beat Wardlow at AEW Double or Nothing last night, 2020 at AEW Double or Nothing 2022. This means that since this means that this mean you know tell you what this means. This means that what was I about to say? What was I about to say? Okay, since wait, MJF lost. MJF lost. Now, you know what this means since MJF lost? Since Wardlow won, MJF was granted his release from his contract. Since Wardlow won, he was granted his release from his contract with MJF. This means that MJF might probably go to WWE, and that'll be really stupid if he leaves AEW. Really stupid on his part, MJF. If he goes to this is a really stupid move. What he's doing. This is the AEW. This is the same company that made his ass. This is the same fucking company that made his ass. And look what he's doing right now, leaving AEW for WWE. He's going to that rat piece of shit thing, Vince McMahon. See, it's the same exact thing. It's the same exact thing that Diamond Dallas Page did when he came to WWE after WCW went out of business in 2001 that year. And when DDP came to WWE, the WWE Vince McMahon shitted on him. And that's the same thing that WWE's gonna do to MJF when he leaves AEW for WWE. He's a really stupid idiot. If he goes to WWE, well, I can say is this: rest in peace, MJF, because they're gonna fuck you over. Really gonna fuck you over. Now let me go to another rant that I'm not happy about. I'm not happy that arrogant big nose dentist Dr. Bitch Baker won the Owen Hart tournament final, beating Ruby Soho. Oh boy. And all I say is this: AEW is really shitting on Ruby Soho. Really shitting on her. See, ever since she came to AEW, ever since she came to AEW, Tony Khan has been shitting on her. And it's the same exact thing. The same exact thing when she was in WWE when Vince McMahon shitting on her. This means, Ruby Soho is gonna go heel now. Since that arrogant big nose bitch Britt Baker went up to Tony Khan, gets to have everything handed to her on super platter. It's true. All I can say is this: Tony Khan, stop it. Please stop it. Stop doing everything that Britt Baker tells you to do. Stop letting her get inside your head. Stop letting her hog the spotlight. Stop letting her. When you really let Britt Baker bury her last night. You really let Britt Baker let that arrogant bitch ass dentist with the big nose, Britt Baker, bury her last night at AEW Double Nothing 2022. I mean, when Ruby Riott when Ruby was in WWE as Ruby Riott, WWE shitting on her. Vince McMahon shitted on her when she was in WWE along with their former tag team partner Liv Morgan, and yet WWE is already shitting on Liv Morgan that already, as I just mentioned. Well, let me tell you this, Tony Khan. Are you gonna do the exact same? Are you gonna do the same thing to Ruby Riott? Are you gonna do the Ruby Riott what Vince McMahon did to her in WWE? Think about what you're doing, Tony. Think about what you're doing, Tony. Do not let Ruby Riott get inside your head. I mean, do not let Dr. Bitch Baker get inside your head. Give Ruby Riott a push. Please give her a push. You can't treat Ruby like this, because when she was in WWE, Vince McMahon did the same thing to her. So do not do to Ruby Soho what Vince McMahon did to her when she was in WWE, along with her former tag team partner Liv Morgan. And yet they're already shooting out shit. Which was bitch about Liv Morgan. They're already shitting on her tag team partner already in WWE. So don't do this, Tony. Please do not do this to Ruby Riott. Please don't be like Vince McMahon. Please do not be like Vince McMahon, Tony. Please, I'm begging you. I'll say AEW the Double Nothing was the best, was okay, but some not okay to me. Now forget about the that right now, the Double Nothing. Let me go to my wrestling history, wrestling birthdays and sports for Monday, May 30th, 2022. And happy Memorial Day to all of you. So here goes. Let me get my calculator right quick. Hold on one second, wait. Hold on one second. I'm trying to find my birthdays. Okay, here it is, the rest of some birthdays. Okay, here it is. Okay, now today's a happy 23rd birthday to Japanese wrestler Mai Suruga. She's a Japanese pro wrestler, currently working for the Japanese professional wrestling promotions, Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling, Gato Move Pro Wrestling, and Gato Move Pro Wrestling. And today is also a happy 24th birthday to Sean Henderson, Male wrestler from Auburn, New Jersey. 26. All right. And today's a happy 26th birthday to Sean Wanatabe, Japanese pro wrestler, currently signed to Dragon Gate under best known as ring name Sean Skywalker. And let's see what else. Today's a happy 27th birthday to Aknor Belian, Indian pro wrestler, best better known by the ring names Belian Aki and simply Aki. He currently works for indie promotions in Japan. Okay. Today's a happy 34th birthday to Levi Livis Venezuela Jr., better known as ring name Jose No Way Jose. Um, he was a former WWE wrestler. No Way Jose. No Way Jose. I don't know if you remember him. And today is also a happy 35th birthday to Big Joe, English wrestler. Let's see. Today's a happy 47th birthday to Michiko Omikai, Japanese former pro wrestler. She wrestled for All Japan Women's Pro Wrestling, Ladies Legend Pro Wrestling, and Arin Sang. And today is also a happy 48th birthday to Valenti, Mexican wrestler. And today is also a happy 49th birthday to Keith Arden, Georgia native, Somersville, Georgia native. And today would have been a happy 52nd birthday to Lester Prefers, better known as Reigning Supreme. He died on May 6, 2020. He was born in Hollywood, California. It's unknown what he died of. Today is also, a second, a happy 54th birthday to Mark Velios, better known by his ring name Michelle Starr. He was born in Torrance, California. And he's a Canadian American pro wrestler. Yeah. And today is also a happy 58th birthday to Andrew Morgan, bears rename Magic. He's from New York City, New York. And today is also a happy 60th birthday to Martha Garcia Meja, a retired Mexican luchador, a female pro wrestler better known on the ring name Martha Villalobos. Martha Villalobos. And last but not least, today is a happy birthday, a happy 67th birthday to WWE Hall of Famer Jake the Snake Roberts, and he's currently signed to AEW right now. He's best known for his time in WCW. One of the best all-time guys, who was one of the best athletes of all time. Now let's go to some wrestling history. On this day in 1932, in Staten Island, New York, the Millfield Arena, Herb Freeman defeated Ralph Wilson. Xander Sarbo defeated Cy Williams. Jack Smith defeated Benny Ginsberg. Leo Paniski defeated Steve Zinowski. Jack Burke defeated Massos Karolinko, Coney Island, on this day in 1932 in Brooklyn, New York, at the Coney Island Stadium. Giuseppe Pico defeated Mike Hosey. Joe Rigacci defeated August Benkert. Charlie Metro defeated Tony Rico. Carl Vogel defeated Jack Reynolds. Paul Finsky and Justino Garaldo fought in the third limit time limit draw. Carlos Hernandez defeated Andy Mixner. Stanislaus Zybo Zabisco defeated Mike Shapwin. Advertised main event Jack Sherry versus Carl Lemming. On this day in 1972 in Dallas, Texas, Fritz Von Erich and Brett Bastian beat Spoiler and Stan Stasiak, Guy vs. Soul. Jose Lothario beat Mike York DQ by disqualification. Billy Red Lions defeated Mr. Fuji. Dean Ho and Frank Monty fought in the draw. George Scott defeated Apache Gringo. On this day in 1972, promoted by the Worldwide Wrestling Federation in Hagerstown, Maryland at Yomiuri. Tony Castella's versus Alan Nelson. Victor Rivera versus Nikita Mukovic. Women's Champion, WWE Women's Champion Fattest Woman versus Debbie Johnson. And WWF Champion, WWF/WWE Champion Pedro Morales versus Brad Michael Sakuna. No results available. On this day in 1982, Minneapolis Television, promoted by AWA, Nick Bockwinkel defeated Chris Curtis. Brad Rheingans defeated Tony Leone. Ken Patera and Bobby Duncan defeated Tommy Stone and Gonzalez. Baron Von Roche defeated Nacho Beta. Sheik Adnan defeated Juan Sebastian. On this day in 1982, in Dallas, Texas, Kabuki and Red Magic Dragon defeated Texas Tornado Kerry Vernon and Al Madrill. Bugsy McGraw defeated Kim Duck. Bill Irwin defeated Frank Dusek. Spoiler beat Raul Castro. Ken Mattel defeated Ken Mattel and Arman Hussein fought in the draw. On this day in 1982, in Manchester, New Hampshire, promoted the World Wrestling Federation, now WWE World Wrestling Entertainment, Rick McGraw defeated Charlie Fulton. Sway Hansen defeated Pete Doherty. Blackjack Mulligan defeated Fred Marzino. Ivan Putski and Tony Gree defeated WWE Tag Team Champions Mr. Fuji and Mr. Saito via disqualification. WWE Champion Bob Backlund defeated Bob Orton Jr. On this day in 1992, on WCW Pro on Channel 9 Chicago, Big Josh versus Sam Kane. If you don't know, the Big Josh is the late Matt Bourne. Is the WWE fans is Doink the Clown. Stunning Steve Austin versus Joey Maggs. It's Stone Cold Steve Austin. Michael Hayes versus Greg the Hammer Valentine. Johnny B. Bad, Junkyard Dog, and Brad Armstrong versus Vinny Vegas and Mr. Hughes and Diamond Dallas Page is a 6-man tag team match. Jimmy Garvin versus Terrence Taylor. Some of you know is Taylor Made Man. He's Taylor Made Man. WWE is formerly the Rooster in WWE. On this day in 1992, on WCW Worldwide, Barry Windham versus Joe Cruz. Super Invader versus Carl Robertson and Eddie Martin. The Steiner Brothers versus Southern Posse. Diamond Stubbs, as the late Scott Hall versus I don't know what movie face. And the Ravishing Rick Rude versus Natural Dustin Rhodes. And we know is Gold Dust. Yep, Gold Dust. On this day in 1992 on WCW Power Hour, the Natural Dustin Rhodes versus Ricky Morton. Scotty Flamingo versus Larry Santo. Will go to a Freebirds interview from Freebirds Enterprises. Arn Anderson, Larry Zbyszko, and Bobby Eaton versus Dustin Rhodes, Ricky Dragon Steamboat, and Nikita Koloff. Anderson and Zbyszko stare down. Eric Bischoff and Lance Russell talk about the NWA Tag Team title tournament. Interviews with Steiners, Cody Williams, and Gordy. Wild Brawl on as Saturday night as Steamboat attacks Paul E. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and Nakia Cola versus Vinny Vegas, who knows Kevin Nash, and Mr. Hughes. On this day in 1992, on WWF Superstars, hosted by the old piece of shit Vince McMahon and the late Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig. This show included an update segment showing the recent incidents between the Ultimate Warrior and Papa Shango, featured a vignette of Crush shown in the Strap Yard. The Legion of Doom defeated Kato and Rich Mantel 149 when Road Warrior Hawk pinned Mitchell following the Doomsday device. Papa Shango fought Brian Breaker into a no contest when, prior to the bout, Breaker's feet were set on fire and black goo were dropped off his face. Sergeant Slaughter defeated Bob Bradley via submission with the Cobra Clutch at 144. Rick Martel defeated Jim Powers via submission with the Boston Crab at 155. Natural Disasters defeated Dwayne Gill and Mike Fury at 258 when Typhoon pinned Fury with a splash, following a sit-down splash from Earthquake. The Big Bossman defeated Dave Roulette at 145 with a sidewalk slam after Match Nails came through the crowd and attacked Bossman from behind and handcuffed his hands together and assaulted him with a nice kick. Moments later, Bossman was taken backstage to a stretcher while Nails threw the crowd. This was Nails' surprise TV debut, Bossman's last appearance until July. He's ready to get his revenge. He's focused on getting his later. Then by that time, focus getting on his revenge on Nails. Then the Berserker with Mr. Fuji defeated Glenn Root, who we know soon later as Headbanger Thrasher in WWE. He defeated him by video count in 159 after throwing his opponent to the floor. Huss! 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 Then we go to on WBS Super Body Stars on USA Network Saturday morning. We see Vince McMahon saying some shit and crap about the bodybuilders. It's the worst show he ever made. Then on this day, 1992, on WCW Saturday night, we go to an intro, interview Great Muta, Brad Armstrong, Greg the Hammer Valentine versus Larry Santa promo. Then we go to a promo. Then we see Cactus Jack facing off against Johnny Rich. Interview with Arn Anderson. Marcus Alexander Bradwell versus Arn Anderson. Then we go to a promo. Then to WCW Magazine Beach Blast 92. Cactus Jack and Sting versus Sting. Facing off Click, Arn Anderson, Eaton, Zbyszko versus Rhodes, Steamboat, and Koloff. Larry Zbyszko versus Stunning Steve Austin. Dangerously, it's Paul Heyman and Eaton interfere. NWA Countdown. Brian Pillman, Joe the Malinkos, Brian Pillman and the Malinkos, Ricky Dragon Steamboat, Nakia Koloff, Great Muta versus Bob Armstrong. Then to an interview, we go to Barry Windham and Arn Anderson. Then show was wrapped up. On this day in 1992, over 4,100 were in attendance at the Auburn Horns, Michigan in the Palace, or the World Wrestling Federation, now WWE World Wrestling Entertainment. Crush defeated Kato via submission with the head vice. Rick the Mom Martel defeated El Matador Tito Santana by using the ropes for leverage. The Nasty Boys defeated Owen Hart and Coco Beware when Brian Allen pinned Coco. Hacksaw Jim Duggan defeated Repo Man via disqualification. Legion of Doom defeated the Beverly Brothers. Intercontinental Champion Bret the Hitman Hart defeated Shawn Michaels with a sunset flip. The Ultimate Warrior defeated Papa Shango. Then on this day in 1992, in Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada, at the Fort Worth Gardens, run by the World Wrestling Federation, which is now WWE World Wrestling Entertainment. Nails defeated Jim Brunzell. The Mountie defeated Sergeant Slaughter. Virgil defeated the Brooklyn Brawler. Native American Tatanka defeated Bob Bradley. And Texas Tornado Kerry Von Erich defeated Skinner. Earthquake defeated WWE Tag Team Champion the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase. Original schedule was the Natural Disasters versus WWE Tag Team Champions $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase and IRS in a tag team title match. The Undertaker defeated the Berserker, and WWE Tag Team WWE Champion the Macho Man Randy Savage defeated the Nature Boy Ric Flair. Then on this day in 2002, SmackDown is live in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, at the Pennygrove Saddledome. Michael Cole and Taz are on commentary. To kick the show off the tag team titles match, Rico, Rikishi, and Rico versus Billy and Chuck. Rikishi fights most of the match on his own. Rico keeps running in and kicking Rikishi. Rikishi slings Rico in the ring. Rikishi super kicks Rico, falls one on top one on Chuck for the 1-2-3. After the match, Billy and Chuck get on Rico's case. Rikishi dances on stage as well. Then we go to a backstage segment with Tori and Maven and Tajiri. Tori gives Maven a nice good luck kiss. The two leave the arena as Tajiri pops out from behind a wall. Then we go to a one-on-one match. Christian versus Maven. Late in the match, Maven climbs the ropes. Tajiri runs down and kicks Maven in the head. Christian capitalizes and pins Maven. Then we go to a backstage segment with the old piece of shit Vince McMahon. Vince on the phone talking about Chris Benoit appearing on Raw. A woman knocks on the door and enters the room. She introduces herself as Dawn Marie, an attorney. They sit down and review documents. Vince begins to slobber over her in the absence of Stacy. Chris Jericho enters the room and complains about having a match tonight. Vince gives Jericho a pep talk, then gets back to Dawn Marie. Oh, that's disgusting. I don't know why this old bastard is attracted to women half his age. Hey Vince, don't you think Dawn Marie is young enough to be your daughter? Isn't Dawn Marie a little young enough to be your daughter's sister? Yeah. Then we go to a match between Chris Jericho and Farouk. Late in the match, Chris Jericho moves the corner padding. A few minutes later, Jericho rams Farouk's head into the exposed turnbuckle. Jericho pins Farouk for the win. Then we go to a backstage segment with Reverend Devon and Lance Storm. Lance Storm confesses his sins to Devon. Lance says that his sin is he's from Western Canada. The crowd boo. Devon says Lance's sins are forgiven. Then we go to an interview with Mark Lloyd interviewing Hulk Hogan. Lloyd asks Hogan about last week. Hogan says that Vince McMahon can take the contract and stick it. Hogan says he's rearranged his priorities. Hogan says he wants a match with Vince McMahon. Vince enters and yells at Hogan in a challenging manner. Suddenly, Kurt Angle sneaks up from behind Hogan and hits him with a weapon. Yeah, Vince McMahon probably likes that, yeah. Yeah, you like that, didn't you, Vince? Keep smiling. Old bastard. Then we go to an undisputed title match. The Undertaker versus Randy Orton. And you know, here's a fun fact. The Undertaker and Randy Orton will have a pretty good match. About like 1, 2, 3 years later at WrestleMania. Yeah, 3 years later. Yeah, 3 years later at WrestleMania 20. WrestleMania 20. WrestleMania 21, 2005. Yeah, WrestleMania 21, 2005. Undertaker comes out and claims that he is the greatest champion of all time. Undertaker says he's going to prove that WWE is the land of opportunity. Orton gets some unexpected defense during this match. But Undertaker comes out on top after a brutal chokeslam. After the match, Taker tosses Orton out of the ring. Taker grabs a chair and wraps it around Orton's head. Suddenly, Triple H appears and attacks The Undertaker. Wow. Triple H just saved his future Evolution buddy. He came to his future Evolution's buddy's aid. Suddenly Triple H appears and attacks The Undertaker. The two megastars fall into the ring. Triple H clotheslines Taker out of the ring. Triple H challenges Taker to a match. Then we go to a cruiserweight tag team title tag match. The Hurricane and Kidman versus Chavo Guerrero and Tajiri. Hurricane puts a odd looking stretch on move on Tajiri. back and forth for the entire match. Jerry puts the tarantula on Kidman. Jerry tries, but the tarantula on Hurricane, but is thrown out of the wing. Hurricane flips over the top rope onto Jerry. Travel baseball slides onto Hurricane. Kidman does an insane shooting star press from the middle outside of the top rope. Kidman lands perfectly onto Jerry and Chavo. Hurricane gets back in the ring. Suddenly, Hurricane's music hits and the message is shown on the big screen. The message says that the mystery will be over when she reveals him herself next week. It shows a photograph of Hurricane with the mystery person. You can see a set of female hands hugging Hurricane. The rest is ripped off. Hurricane tries to figure it out in his head. Jerry sneaks up from behind. Hurricane kicks him in the head. Jerry pins Hurricane for the win. Then we go to a match, Triple H versus Test. Triple H puts a real beating on Test. Lance Storm comes out of the stage and distracts Triple H for a moment. Test takes over and begins his assault on the game. Lance Storm comes down and super kicks Triple H outside the ring. Lance throws Triple H back into the ring where Test is waiting. Triple H nails a spine buster on Test and covers him. Lance Storm distracts the referee. Test bells back and hits a twist and slam on the game. Triple H ducks a punch sets up Test for the pedigree. Triple H sees Storm on the top rope. Triple H pulls Storm down, punches him into the corner. Test goes for a big boot, but hits Lance Storm instead. Triple H sets Test up for the pedigree again, but Undertaker runs down. Triple H goes up for the Undertaker. Triple H turns around and is hit with a big boot. Test's big boot in the face. Triple H covers Test for the big win. Undertaker enters the ring and beats the crap out of Triple H. Undertaker finishes Triple H off with a massive choke slam. Undertaker goes outside and gets a steel chair. Undertaker slams the chair into Triple H's forehead. Undertaker assaults the fallen Triple H with a chair. An army of referees, including Johnny Ace, the old piece of shit, knows people power, John Laryngitis, and feeling run down to help. Then we go to a backstage segment. Edge and Val Venus. Val asks Edge to take that wig off of Kurt Angle. Edge says everybody thinks in Calgary wants to see Angle's head bald. Val says, I wish you luck, but luck is for losers. Then we go to an interview with Mark Lloyd for Kurt Angle. Mark asks Angle about being the shaven bald by Edge. Mark asks to show the footage from Judgment Day. Angle tells him to never show that footage again. Angle says he is going to disgrace Edge in front of his home country. Then we go to the ringside. We see the Hart family. The Hart family is shown sitting in the front row. Jim and Ellie Neidhart, we know, is the parents of future WWE superstar Natalya, Bruce Hart, and Stu Hart, among others. No Bret Hart there. Then we go to a main event, steel cage match. Edge versus Kurt Angle. Pinfall submission, escape rules. Edge gets busted open during the match. The referee gets knocked out. Kurt hits an Angle slam up from the top rope. Angle climbs out of the cage and escapes. Hulk Hogan runs down and attacks Kurt Angle. Hulk throws Angle back into the cage. Edge battles back and nails a spear on Kurt Angle. Edge gets a 2 count. Edge throws Angle head first into the corner. Edge gets another 2 count. Angle snaps the ankle lock onto Edge. Edge counters and throws Angle into the cage. Edge locks on an ankle lock of his own. Edge counters it. Hogan continues to cheer for Edge out from the outside. Angle opens doors to leave, but Hulk Hogan closes it. Angle begins to climb the steel cage. Edge climbs up after grabbing Angle's head. Hogan opens the door for some reason. Angle slips and lands the crutch first on the door. Edge pulls Angle back onto the cage. Edge throws Angle back in the ring. Edge stands on the top rope. Angle runs towards Edge. Edge spears Angle from the top rope. Edge covers Angle and picks up the major win. Hogan enters the steel cage and throws Angle into the cage 3 times. Hogan tries to do-wig Angle, but Angle escapes the cage and retreats. Hogan celebrates with a bloody Edge. And SmackDown goes off the air. Then on this day in 2002, on WWE Tough Enough Part 2, as the final day is dwindled down, the cast does promos for the trainers, lend the faces of faces off with Ivory, Jackie, and fights Al Snow. Kenny battles Chavo Guerrero Jr., and Jake goes one-on-one with Bob Hardcore Holly. The cast gets their own action figures of themselves and say goodbye to the trainers. Linda is announced that she is the first Tough Enough 2 champion, and then Jackie is announced that she is the second WWE Tough Enough 2 champion. Jake and Kenny were joint runner-up after Linda and Jackie were announced winners of Tough Enough 2. Then, on this day in 2012, the edition of NXT was live and it took place at the River Center in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. MCM, we know, is Kurt Hawkins and Tyrese defeated the Usos, Jimmy and Jay. Caitlyn defeated Tamina. Derek Bateman and Justin Gabriel and Perry Watson defeated Johnny Curtis, Michael McGillicuddy, and JT McGee in a 6-man tag team match. Now let's go to some sports, shall we? Let's go to some sports. Good old sports. Let's see. Let me load it up right quick. One second. Okay, this is the 1982 NBA Finals. This is Game 2 of the 1982 NBA Finals. This is the date was Sunday, May 30th, 1982. It took place at the Spectrum in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It aired at 9:05 Eastern PM on CBS. The coverage of the NBA Finals on the NBA on CBS. The series was all right. Now fresh from holding off the Celtics in conference finals, the Sixers worked their offense to precision and held a 15-point lead midway through the third quarter, 83-68. But then the Lakers began turning it up on defense as a result, with many fast breaks. The Lakers went on a 40-49 run over the game's next 11 minutes. Will scored 10. Kareem and McAdoo scored 8 each. Nixon and Cooper scored 7 each. And Nixon and 4 assists during the run, on the way to a 124-17 game 1 win. Wait, hold on, wait. What am I? This is game 2. Sorry, game 2. I'm saying, yeah, game 2. My mistake, folks. Game 2. It took place at 3:45 p.m. May 30th, 1982, on CBS. The NBA, the coverage there. NBA on CBS. It was game 2 of the 1982 NBA Finals. It took place at the Spectrum in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. In this game, Laker coach Pat Riley took a different defensive approach, assigning Magic Johnson to cover Julius Erving straight up on defense, while Magic couldn't match the Doctor's athleticism. The move keep Erving from the defensive boards. In Game 2, that wasn't quite enough, as Erving brought the Sixers back for 24 points and 16 rebounds, most defensive. Billy Cunningham used all the centers, Caldwell Jones, Daryl Dawkins, and Earl Surton at different points to guard Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. The Sixers got 30 off offensive rebounds for 50-second chance points, while the Lakers only had 6 defensive boards. The Sixers used that advantage to take a 110-94 win and eventually even the series. In a balanced, strong scoring attack, Morris Cheeks had 19 points and 8 assists. Jones had 12 points and 11 rebounds. And Bobby Jones and Clint Richards scored 10. Each scored 10. This was the Lakers' first loss in 1982 postseason. Yep, the Lakers had 94 points and the Sixers had 110. And the series was tied. But they had a double tie. They were both tied. It was 1-1. And that's it. that's all I have to do for all of you today. Those were my wrestling history, wrestling birthdays, and my sports for today, Monday, May 30th, 2022. I'm the Godfather of Soul, Justin Lewis Fleming. I hope all of you have a happy Memorial Day. Hit like, comment my video, subscribe to me. I'm the Godfather of Soul, Justin Lewis Fleming. Have a good morning. It's already 3:16 in the morning right now. I'm gonna get me some sleep, and I hope all of you have a really good morning and have a great Memorial Day. And rest in peace to all the men and women that died. Hope all of you have a good morning. It's already midnight right now. It's 3:16 in the morning. I'm gonna get me some sleep. So long. Peace. I'm out of here. Brown, brown, brown. Brown, brown, brown.